And we are live. Hi, everyone. It's Rochie, aka TheFrugalistaMOM, and welcome to another episode of Getting Candid with Rochie. Well, tonight, guys, I know it's not a Wednesday, it's only Monday, but because we're having somebody really special tonight, so we're doing a very special Monday show. So, for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Rochie and I'm a food allergy blogger and I'm the person behind the blog, The Frugalista Mom. And I am a food allergy mentor. I am a speaker and, of course, a mom of four. And for tonight, I want to introduce to you our guest. It's very special because I actually entitled it The Show Must Go On. Because, as you know, when it comes to theater, films, and acting, there's no such thing as the show cannot go on. And with that, without further intro, I want to introduce to you a good friend of mine, Mr. Luis Pedron. Hi, Luis.
Hi, Rochie. Kamusta? I'm here in
Oh,
New
good
York. You're in
there.
New Jersey, right?
Yes, across the bridge.
Yeah, yes. We're just in the tri-state area.
Yes. So let's go. Let's get started.
Yes.
Now,
Are you gonna
I
ask me about my allergy?
do you have allergies?
Not peanuts, believe it or not. My
What is it?
allergies are apple, peaches, and anything that kind of looks like a plum apple. So I
It's like
avoid those. I
mhm,
think they're
stone
uh,
fruits. Is that it?
right. That they're a type of fruit like apples, plums, so like
Yeah.
that. But I mean,
Oh,
thank God, peanuts I'm good. Oh, almonds, I a little bit. It kind of makes my throat kind of
itchy.
thick here, but otherwise, yes, the apples and peaches. But thank God, I'm so used to peanuts
Oh,
because of
that's
peanut
so
butter.
good.
Remember in the Philippines, we would put peanut butter, like different peanut butter, Lily's peanut butter or whatever, and we would cement it. And now here, you can buy it so cheap, so I go cement my peanut butter.
Oh, so you're the one who wants the creamy one, not the one with like
Yeah,
with the
I
organic ones that separates.
so one bottle like that I finish in a week.
Oh gosh. You know, that's the hardest thing for me because when I was in high school, we went through a phase that during recess time or what we call like merienda time in school, I eat growers and
Peanuts, yes.
soda for
And
snack.
soda.
Yes, that's our snack food, and it's funny because all the nuns they were surprised that like, oh my goodness, these high school students are just eating peanuts for snack during the week, and they're like, we have to buy again. They were supposed to buy,
Right.
because they come in small pouches,
Oh
and then
yes, of course.
we're eating like five of those, as one person because we're teenagers, and they're like, "Are you kidding me? This kid, what's up with the peanuts?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what we wanted to eat." And
Are
now,
you gonna
yeah,
ask
that's
me
funny.
about what I snack on?
Yes, yes, yes. But
I try to snack on a handful of either peanuts or cashews. But
oh my
sometimes if there's budget constraints, you know what I will eat a handful of?
god.
Cheerios. Because it feels like eating nuts already. And
Mhm.
they're a lot cheaper than buying cashews. But
Oh yes,
a handful of peanuts is also cheaper than cashews.
I know,
So
right?
they say that's a tad bit healthier. Oh, by the way, alam ko mahilig ka sa, you like free products. I'm gonna
Yes.
send you free samples of, I went back to doing Yoli
Oh my
and
goodness, what is that?
how we do research about it. I'll send it to you before tasting them. Actually, do check out the food allergies because a lot of them are non-allergenic or whatever you call it. So, anyways,
Awesome. I heard
I
about that,
had
but I haven't tried that.
the Yoli, yes, and we do. That's the style now. Instead, since everything's virtual now, we send you a sample pack. And I saw in one of your videos that you were going goo goo gaga over samples.
I
So
love
yeah,
samples.
it'll be a box full of samples like this of energy drinks, a protein shake, and the coffee. They have an alkalizing coffee. Sorry for like
There.
talking about that, but I had to relate myself to your topic. Oh, by the way, before you ask me a question, Frugalista Mom. So tell me about what
The
what do you mean
name.
about that title?
Yes. At first, because when I started, I just, because at that time food allergies is not like prevalent yet, or it's not
Mhm.
very common. So it's hard to find allergy friendly products. But before that, I consider myself what do you call that? A couponer, because I got four
Ah,
kids. So, and then eventually I
right.
was like, I can't be saying I'm the budget friendly mom, or like I would say the cheap mom, because allergy friendly organic products are expensive. So I was like, it's sort of like a fashionista, but then, you're being frugal about it. So I was looking
Uh,
for how to save money buying organic products. Oh, right, like that.
ah,
So basically, it's a so shallow way of
Lasalista talaga.
buying some products,
So you're from
right?
DLSU, right? From De La Salle?
Yes. Don't stereotype.
Right, right. So my affinity is I went to La Salle Green Hills for grade school and high school. Batch
Mm.
ko sila Ogie Alcacid, sila Dingdong
Oh,
Avanzado,
oh,
Rani
oh no,
Raimundo. Yeah.
the age is out.
But we all those three all look young anyways.
Yes. Oh, just like you all. You
Yeah,
all.
and our height too, and our height. Yes, correct.
No, that's awesome. So let's get started. I know you were a director, or have you directed shows
Yes,
before?
I've directed things. I've directed events and especially short films. But otherwise, as a filmmaker and as an artist, I'm still pursuing it. I definitely want to be part of the person who's showcasing them.
Mhm.
Returning back the favor, because prior to that, before when I was starting out as an artist here in America, no one was helping me. So I
Mhm.
figured, my own little way, I should help them out to doing Asian events. And now the International Film Festival Manhattan on its 10th year,
10th year?
10-year anniversary.
Wow, it's a decade.
It's a
That's a good
milestone.
one.
Yes. But I mean, sadly though, because of the COVID time, believe it or not, my business partner, the one who co-founded this, Jerry Balasta, since he's also in the medical field, I guess he was exposed during COVID during the height of. He actually passed away in March. Yeah,
No.
so that's something we're celebrating. In as part of the award ceremony, we'll celebrate his life. A couple of people will talk, and we're presenting him as posthumous award. But
Mhm.
otherwise, Jerry Balasta, we're dedicating this film festival to you.
Oh, that's awesome. So let me get started on this question. Is directing or film always been a childhood dream of
More
yours?
of being in front of the camera.
Oh,
So
okay.
remember when we were kids, like I wanted to be a regal baby.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I guess no one, I didn't get too much in the Philippines, but I did get into voiceovers
Oh,
when I
that's
was in
awesome.
UP. Yes, I
Mhm.
was the voice for Shider. I don't know if you remember
I know,
Shider.
Spider. Are you
Yes, I'm the
Spider?
voice. I'm the voice. No, I'm the voice of Ida. Time space warp. Ngayon din.
Ngayon din. Oh my God. Is
That's
that
me.
you? Really?
That was,
Really?
yeah. We did that was the first actually show that was dubbed from Japanese to Filipino from the Toei
Mhm.
production, and we were the first batch. The next batch was Voltus 5. I didn't join Voltus 5.
Oh no, you're that one. You're the Actually, you know what? My
Ida,
kids,
yeah.
I taught them the shigi shigi. And I know.
Ooh,
And they were like, "Oh my god!" Because when I showed them like what, because they were asking what shows do you like when you were a kid, and everything you can see on YouTube. So I
yeah,
showed them YouTube, and then all of a sudden they saw the part that when they come to
right,
that time space warp with the shigi shigi whatever,
right.
and they're like, "Oh, are you showing this to kids? This is." They were telling me it's not appropriate. You're telling them that you're like hypnotizing the kids and everything.
It actually, oh, I know. Kamahalan, nandiyan na po yung mga kalaban. Patayin!
Now I'm curious, who's Annie? Is she the winner of the
That's
quiz?
what we're gonna try to do. Sheila Radas, Annie, Polycarpio is Scheider. We're trying to. Since I do interviews as well, we're trying to put them together. And Rowena Raganit, who actually ended up being a professional dubber in voiceovers, hopefully we can put our group together.
Oh my
And
goodness, that
and
sounds
yes, and
fun.
then we're all in our this age, and you want to see how we look like after
No, like, will
after
you
all
be
this
in
years.
costume?
I know, right?
You got the amazing
That's
costume.
remember the disco ball? That's the
Yes,
disco ball in my head. Yeah.
you got
And
the
we
most
were.
amazing one.
Can you imagine if we? Can you imagine if we meet them? The real actors.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna believe it. The directors, the people who directed us, obviously they were voiceover people and theater people. Both of them died already. So
Oh, really? Oh, there you go. You
yeah,
got another tribute.
another tribute. Yes, yes, yes. So otherwise, that was what we did. Because in UP, when you were there before, because our schedules is easy, you can do your classes within 2 days. Because it's
Oh, yeah.
MW, TTH, or WS. So I would put my days 2 days, and the rest of the 5 days you can do part-time job. So some of the guys were
Mm.
models, actors. Everyone had a part-time job. Mine was voiceovers.
Oh, that is awesome. Which reminds me, I know a friend of mine. She is the birch
Uh,
tree girl. Yeah,
really?
the
Yeah.
baby voice.
The voice.
Yeah,
I have
it was
I have
her.
one more. I don't know. You'll remember this. I know you're a lot younger than me. Years ago, they took out Manila Times and they put it back in the Philippines.
Mhm.
Because of some political reasons. But when they launched it, I was doing voiceover. I'm the signature voice for Manila Times. You know the because in the Philippines they sell newspapers on the streets,
Yes. Mhm.
so you would scream out the name. So in the commercials, I'm the one who says Manila Times. Yeah,
Oh
that
yeah,
was
I
my
know
voice. I didn't have to audition for it because my voice sounds like a kid. So yeah, those were the blessings. I want to do it again here in the future. I have had auditions for Verizon and
that.
this is really fast. When you audition over here, you're expected to be an immigrant, and they would say, "Oh,
Oh,
you should have been here 2 years." So, what kind of Filipino accent who speaks? Well, we speak English anyways. We have the
yeah.
vocabulary,
Mhm.
but what is that slight accent that you've only been here 2 years? Do
What
you
is
have to do the
it?
Mikey Bustos type of
Oh
accent?
my,
Or I don't
that is
know. I don't
so
know.
weird.
But that's how it is here. It's like, oh, you have to be like I don't know if you know the John Briones role in Ratchet on
Oh
Netflix.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, he speaks with perfect American English, but every now and then you'd feel like, oh, he's born somewhere else, and then they mention he's from the Philippines. I don't know if it's meant to be, or he was asked to like at least throw a little bit of hint that
Accent.
you're an
Yeah.
immigrant. Yeah, but
Mhm.
otherwise, wow, that's an ideal role. Can you imagine?
That is nice.
Ratchet. Yeah, I talk a lot too much.
No, me too. Actually, that's one thing because I have my oldest daughter now. She wants to pursue voiceovers actually. And I said she's lucky because she's now 17. She can still sound like a 3-year old.
Oh, really? No
Yes.
kidding. Wow, good for her. Yeah.
That's why I said I think you might have a talent for that,
Yeah,
something for college fund or something, to buy gas.
exactly. And
Yes.
during this time, everything is done via your laptop. You just send everything online.
Yeah.
So, especially voiceover, if you have the equipment, you can even do your recording in your own house.
I know. So she was like, maybe I'll do that because she's 17. I said, okay, when you turn 18, you can do whatever you want. But then, so and she's like, I think I might, pursue that one. I said,
It
but
might.
but I said, at least you have that, you know where you're going from. Because I was telling her she could still be like a Disney voice
Right,
until now.
exactly.
Because it's
Exactly.
because her voice never got old. It's like she's stuck in there.
Well, you sound young as well.
I know, right? Actually,
Yeah,
now
you got
I'm
that
putting
voice.
my voice
Yes.
down already. My mom already told me to tone it down because it's all too high. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. So, anyway, speaking of films, let's talk about your international film festival. What was it all about? I mean,
Right.
for most of us who don't know it, right?
Film festivals usually is based in the city. As you know, Tribeca was a PR event because they wanted people to come back in Tribeca area because after 9/11, everyone abandoned that area, including the Bryant Park, Tribeca,
Yeah.
even Chinatown. Anything below 14th Street, people did not go back there because of 9/11. Otherwise, De Niro did that and stuff. So you have to create your event based on a city. And then
Mhm.
since I live in Queens, I live in New York City, I go, what is the proper branding? What
Uh-huh.
encompasses New York without saying New York? Because everybody's branding is New York. So no one
Mhm.
has Manhattan. So
Yeah.
Jerry and I said International Film Festival Manhattan. And it's nice
Mhm.
because we can get, small venues in the city, sometimes 99 seater. We did the quad one time. We did anthology and film archives on second, 199 seater. And then we found our niche, our place in Producers Club, which is 40 to 70 seats.
Mhm.
But now, as you know, everything's online. So oof, I, ne- I definitely need to find how to find the audience in doing it virtually. But at least,
Mhm.
everyone can just watch it on their telephones now and
Mhm.
stuff. We do showcase a lot of Filipino films because I'm Filipino. Everyone asks me like, why a lot of Filipinos? And my answer is why not? I'm proud of being Filipino
Yeah.
and I'm proud of showcasing the galing of the Filipino, how good they are. And we have a
Mhm.
lot of films from film school, from students, from amateur filmmakers. And then, of course, I showcase a lot of New Yorkers, Latino, Chinese, and anyone who's within the community. And we have submissions from around the world. This year, we have submissions from Tibet, Austria,
Oh.
Switzerland. We have Bulgarian, Italian, Spanish from Spain, and of course, Colombia
Ooh.
and
Okay.
India.
India. Oh, they have a lot. They have like one a big Bollywood, right?
Hmm.
So great. Now, for those of us, oh, not me. I think I have some background in theater and film. But for those who are not familiar with what we were talking about, it's like an Oscars or what is another film festival that we're always
Sundance
known?
Film Festival,
Oh,
Metro Manila
Sundance.
Film Festival. Yes.
Yeah. So it's basically like a few days event, and then you have different not shows, different films, short films. Okay, for those of you who don't know it, yeah, short films are only a few minutes short,
Yes.
long,
15
and then
minutes below. Yes.
yes, and then the regular film is what, about an hour,
About
right?
90 minutes. Yes.
Yeah. So basically that's what we were, it's different films from different countries, and then you all watch it technically, and then you will find a winner for best actor, best what.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's basically what a film fest is, okay?
Yes.
Because I
And
know
we
some people like we're like, what are they talking about?
we pride ourselves with when people fly, and believe it or not, 75% usually fly from around the world to come to New York. I guess they're enticed with showcasing their film in Manhattan. So we
Hmm.
do pride ourselves with doing Q&As. In fact, we've done
Oh.
a question and answer. I've already pre-recorded 11 Q&As that we actually are showing on global TV, London, New York, Asia, online as well, like yours.
Hmm.
And then since it would have a link, it would be in the description. So when you buy the ticket, you would have a link that you would see the filmmakers actually do a Q&A with me. We
Oh, that's
pride ourselves with
nice.
that. When like
Mhm.
we do this, so you can see the personality of the filmmaker. Believe it or not, remember when you market things, what you're buying is the messenger sometimes.
Yes,
The messenger
exactly.
is what you
Mhm.
buy. That's why you buy the thing because you like the messenger. That's why we try to show this the filmmakers also do a Q&A.
That's good. And actually, I like that because I would say, because I have a background in theater, and it's the director who's what we call the unsung heroes. Because sometimes you think it's, I mean, yes, the actors, but it's always the director who really did the film, right?
Right.
And
They're
they're the ones,
actually
yeah.
they're actually the ones that are get invited in the film festival. In the film festival,
Yes.
the director is the star.
Yes, they are. Well, technically, they are the star because they put everything together, right? But they don't give much credit to them, right?
No, no, no. Yeah. Well, especially in the celebrity world, but otherwise in the film industry, yeah, they,
Yeah.
if you're a Brillante Mendoza, if you're,
Mm-hmm.
if you're the big, directors, oh, they treat you. In fact, big film festivals invite you and fly you and hotel you. But since we're
Uh-huh.
a small film festival, even during pre-COVID, we did not fly in our hotel filmmakers.
Yeah.
We invite them, but we don't pay for their fare. But in big film festivals, forget it. Yeah, they will fly you,
They're
hotel
gonna
you,
do.
and
Yeah,
get
all
you
the
a
perks,
driver
right?
and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. So it's good to be a director.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love that, but I don't want to be. I'm a bad director. You know why? I don't have the patience. That's
Oh,
one thing director should have. Because I've seen, because I've been helping a lot in my kids drama, program. I would say to the teacher, you know what, your patience is worth. If it's me, that kid will be out of this room already. It's a lot of patience, especially if it's like a big group. I mean, how many actors, how many scenes,
right.
personalities? Oh my goodness, you're gonna put them
And
all together.
personalities.
Mhm.
Exactly, exactly.
Especially the
What?
personalities.
Right, right.
Mm.
One of the Q&As, one of the filmmakers actually mentioned that try to put everyone already in the who's qualified, the actor who already looks the part, who already knows the part, who's a good actor, and the cinematographer and everybody else. So when you're on set, you don't have to care about them because they're already doing their part properly.
Mhm.
So it's my description of producing as well. If you put
Yeah.
everybody correctly and hire the right people, besides being likable, of course, try to hire people who are
Likeable.
likable that you like. Um, and if you put them properly in the correct spot, it will just flow properly.
Mhm.
It just, yeah, and then you would look like a star because it'll flow properly.
Unless you have a diva on the set.
Shh. No one talks about the diva on the set. Shh. Of course, it will slip in and it'll go in the tabloids.
Blind item. Oh my
Correct, correct,
goodness.
correct.
Okay. About the international festival. Okay. So, what are some of the shows that you got? I mean, you've already mentioned some of
Hmm.
the countries, right? So, what are some of the types of films that people can expect watching this year?
Right. There's one feature film from the Philippines called Latay Battered Husband. Domestic violence doesn't only happen to a wife, it could happen to anyone, the kid and the husband. This is particularly actually produced by BG Films by Baby Go and directed and written by Ralston Hover. He actually wrote for a lot of films of Brillante Mendoza when he was starting.
Uh-huh.
He so so this film is Lovey Po and Alan Dizon, and you should watch it because of the performances and Snooki Serna. I don't know if you
Oh,
remember those
Snooki.
names. Yes,
I know Snooki. I mean,
Snooki
yeah.
Serna. Oh yeah, she plays the mother in this role, but she's actually the reason why all of this is happening. Sometimes some people would say, "Oh, there's always a reason why you're like that," and in this
Mhm.
particular movie, blame it on Snooki. But everyone's good in this movie. Of course, we have a Bulgarian film called Reunion about
Mhm.
reunions of kids, reunions of people coming back to their city and meeting their friends, and they'll see a problem, this and that. Oh, have you ever heard of this particular thing? Because we're pretty
Yeah.
close with our fellow classmates and stuff. A lot of them actually now, since we cannot meet, we go in
Yeah.
a group chat, we go
Yes.
on WhatsApp, and it's basically like that. But in this particular one, all of them are telenovela telenovela stars in Bulgaria.
Okay.
This is directed and written by Nikki Iliev, who's very famous in Bulgaria. And the short films, fast
Mhm.
lang, we have Depressed and Bullied. That's a topic. I put them
Well,
all
it's
together a
like
bunch. And we're
bullying.
all,
Oh, you get too much bullying.
yes, yes, we got, movies that the kids are bullied, this and that, people who are depressed. And We do not condone that, but we actually um, encourage everyone, if you're depressed or especially nowadays you're stuck, do reach out to someone, and also do reach out to your friends and family who are
Yeah.
alone. So we have a horror shorts. We you also have comedic shorts, and we have other films from two Indian movies called Taen, which is Tamil, a language over there in India,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
Malayalam, which is Irumbu. And then we're so excited this year. We are featuring Tibetans, and yet
Oh,
Tibetans are live in different countries because
yeah.
they seek asylum in different countries. So these are Tibetans from New York, from India, some are from Switzerland and Austria. A lot of them are music videos, but you'd see how vibrant and colorful their culture is. But those
Oh,
are just a few. Oh, but
nice.
I think before our meeting, when we were talking about, there's also one for medical field because we're Asian Americans, we're Filipino. We
Yep.
want to show something that's kind of medical for our doctors and nurses. There's Diagnosing Healthcare is a documentary. I
Mhm.
definitely encourage you to watch that. And lastly, for people who are vlogging, Filipinos are good in pageantry. We
Oh
also
God,
have a documentary about
that
the
could be
one
a
and
beauty.
only Jewish Miss America, the one
That's
and
really
only Jewish
nice.
Miss America. So those are
Wow,
just a few. We have 23 programs, including the award ceremony.
that's awesome. Now, can you tell our viewers, if they're gonna watch it, because they're not going to a place to watch it, and they're watching. So how will they do it? How
Correct,
do they
correct.
gonna support the event, or how? Not just support, but it's like if they're curious to watch this movies or films or short films, because we don't have anything else to do in life. Is that it right now?
Correct, yes.
Um,
I'm hoping everyone supports.
mhm.
This is iffmnyc.com is the main website that you'll see the different tickets. It will
Okay.
list about 23 programs, and you can click on the Eventive platform. And when you click on that, buy that ticket. I'm looking at my website, buy the ticket for $12. It will go to a description. It has synopsis, director's bio, and also trailers of most of them. It's $12 to explain how it's going to work. When you click on this, and it's during the November 19 to 22, you can watch it any of those days, November 19, 20, 21, 22. But when you click on it, you only have 24 hours. So it's like you're borrowing the movie for 24 hours. It's called video on demand. So I'm sorry,
Okay.
so many technical terms. But otherwise, just click on the website, iffmnyc.com. On the homepage, you have descriptions of each film. You click on the buy ticket now for $12, and it's available on only on November 19th, 22.
Oh, we put
And
that
when you
one.
click on it, it's available for 24 hours. Please support. And I know
Yeah.
this is before the holidays. This is before Thanksgiving in America. And
Mm-hmm.
I know you have time over the weekend to watch independent movies. Please support our humble film festival. And if you
Mm-hmm.
haven't been to our film
There you go.
festival, at
Am
least you
I
can feel it. Yay!
right? There
Whoa!
you go, guys.
IFFMNYC.com.
Yeah.
IFFMNYC.com. And thank you for all your help. I know Rochie has been supportive with different endeavors around our area now, not only with the food, but
Yeah.
also now artist and fellow person from LaSalle.
Yes, of course. We because we bleed green, right?
Verde.
And our brains are green too.
Da!
Okay, so for those of you who are still watching this and are still thinking, so this is what the festival is about. You're going to go to iffmnyc.com, and then they would see, is it a click a ticket? Is that the
Yeah,
one?
it says buy tickets now, and it's a long ticket. It's a long link.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do warn, if it's kind of adulty as a topic, I put for mature audiences only.
Oh, yes, that's one thing.
Yes,
Most of them are
yes,
not rated.
yes. Oh, in film festivals
Yeah.
anywhere around the world, no censorship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, it doesn't go through a rating system. No.
Yeah, because that's what some parents were like. Can they see this in my 24 hours, right? And then your kids will
Yes.
be like, oh, I'm using the tablet. So it's not rated, guys.
Yeah, so it's
But
no, there's no rating, but there is a warning. Like even after you click, when you're already in the platform, I actually put there if there's sexual situation, if there,
mhm,
use of whatever, violence, this and that, and there are, in most movies, even in Hollywood movies, there's always violence. We're
yes,
showing that in the film festival, not to condone it, but freedom of expression of the filmmaker, and sometimes
mhm,
they do have a message. That's the reason why they're showing such a
yeah,
thing. It's either anti-child abuse or anti-battering of husband or wife.
yeah. Actually, that's one thing I like about what you call indie films, because they would always tell you something.
That's a message,
You know,
yes.
there's a message. There's really a story, because it's they're not meant to really um
To make
get
money.
money. Yes,
It's not commercial, yeah.
it's
Not
not
commercial.
commercial. It's
It's
really the
the
message
message.
of the
Yes,
filmmaker.
yes.
Yes, it's not
A
like,
lot
oh, we have to edit it, right?
a lot of these
Yeah.
people are self-funded. They use their own credit card, their own savings to create this. Believe it or
Mhm.
not, one of the highly recommended documentary in this film festival is "We Are All in This Together." You know how divided we are, right? So
Oh
this
yeah.
particular in America or even around the world,
Yeah.
Daniel Troya is an athlete. He bikes around the
Mhm.
U.S. So this particular tour of his, when he went around by himself, he challenged himself not to bring money nor food. So he just begged food all over the U.S. to prove that innately Americans are really nice anyways.
Mhm.
So you'll see his experience going around 18 states. It's called "We Are All in This Together." It's highly recommended at the International Film Festival Manhattan. And when you click on it, I will put the link. We already did a Q&A with him. You will meet him and he will talk about his experiences going around with that. By the way, since you are into health and wellness,
Mhm.
what would you actually encourage people who do a lot of biking or doing long distance
Listen.
biking? What is something that you should eat or tag along?
You know what I would say? Protein. It's
Hmm.
something that they need. And then, because I don't really do much long distance, because I'm okay. My attention span is too short. After 2 miles, my brain is all over the place already. But I know a lot of actually there's a lot of Filipinos right now who does those long distance biking.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were always but I do play badminton, so I'm
Oh.
still
Yeah.
athletic. I do play badminton. So when it comes, and I was an athlete back in the days.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
What did
I
you compete in?
volleyball, our team
Oh,
volleyball.
oof. Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was there. Even though I'm short, I was
I was
able
gonna
to.
say, are you tall?
You know me. Now, at that time, we don't have the height limit much on that, but now they're all tall. But
Now they're all tall. Yeah.
uh, but anyway, as an athlete, it's always having
Protein.
protein and a lot of potassium and magnesium,
Mm.
because that's one thing I learned, because we always say, "Well, why am I having cramps or this one? I
Mm,
had
tama.
sodium, but they don't have potassium." That's why you
Mm.
always find bananas on like the marathons or any 5K thing, because of the potassium. And that's the one that helps,
We had
especially
a we had a movie last year about marathon, and all of them were talking about carbon loading. What does
oh
that
yeah.
mean?
Hmm. Yeah. Carbon loading is like it's it's the carbs just before you hit the thing. So, and then you
You
have that
spend the
thing.
energy.
Yes, you have something for the energy. But because if you're long distance, because carbs you eat it a lot, but you burn it quickly. Unlike protein, that it's harder to burn. So that's the thing.
Ah. Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Talking
Hmm.
about food, no, I definitely want to invite you to my other interviews as well when we're talking about food, because
I love
the
food.
other show I'm doing is Get Real with Jeanette Marco and Luis Pedron.
Hmm.
Jeanette actually has cafes and restaurants, and we can talk about food.
Ooh, I love that.
And she's
And-
plant based too. Her some of
Oh,
her protein are plant based.
actually, I tried doing plant based, but I didn't. I mean, I did make it. I tried for
Mm-hmm.
actually I just did it this year.
Mm,
For the whole Lent, which is 40 days. That's
mm.
because I'm a big meat eater. I mean,
Oh,
I could survive without rice, without vegetables. As long as there's meat, I'm happy. So that was like, I would say, what I did for Lent. It's
yeah.
not really for diet, but it's because something I really want. That's what I want. So, you know how I managed to, but for one weird reason, I lost weight and I ate a
Nice.
lot. Because I think it's
Oh,
just the fats from the meat that was different. The only thing
uh,
I did also is I fasted from going to Filipino restaurants because they never had any plant based. Everything,
but
even vegetables, have something in it. It's sautéed on pork
shrimp.
fat or something. So that's why I'm like, or my favorite restaurant that we always go to, they were like asking, what is going on? Why is she not here? And then my husband would say, no, she's not going here until Easter because it's hard. Because we never really have. I would say that's one of the biggest challenge for Filipinos is because we eat lots of meat, or even not
Yes.
lots. We always put
Yes.
meat on anything, right?
One of the one of the diets for the Yoli thing is 2 or 3 times a week you do not eat protein. Carbs, I should say. So just
Carbs.
protein days. Protein days. But that's Yoli. But otherwise I did a religious not fast but diet called Daniel diet.
Oh,
That's
I heard
fruits
about
and
that.
vegetables. Fruits and
Mhm.
vegetables. In the beginning part of that, that's 10 days. The first few you will crave for protein, so I would go like that in peanut butter and put it in my mouth. Because
Oh,
what is
no.
the closest, protein that you can put in your mouth that's fruits or vegetables?
Mhm.
That's pretty healthy. But I decided to do Yoli because I wanted my face to look slimmer for the Q&As. And then, of
I'm
course,
sorry.
yes, and then tomorrow is my yearly doctor's appointment. So hopefully my blood works is better tomorrow.
Better, right?
Yes, yes. But during the pandemic, we didn't eat a lot, right? It's only now that we would eat in restaurants now. But during that time, there wasn't even Chinese food.
I know. Actually, all the Chinese
Hmm.
restaurants closed at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So you
is.
have to cook. You had to cook. But just fast. I did Freshly.com was the
Uh-huh.
subscription, the chef food. Because
Different.
if you order Chinese, it'll be what, $15-$18 including tip. But the Freshly is like $6 to $9
Mhm.
at an average. So I go like, oh, that's cheaper and it's portion control. It's probably more healthy. But now, since the budget constraints, I had to stop it and learn how to cook.
Oh, I cook a lot because we are a family of six, and then the kids have allergies, so the safest way for them to eat is to eat from
You,
home.
yeah, you
Yeah.
preparing it. Yeah, yeah.
I know, right? It's like I'm the ultimate cook. Actually, that's why some people are asking, how do you manage it? Because they're actually eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner all homemade. I mean, even if they're in school, now they're all distant learning, so they're home. But even when they're in regular school, they have their baon, their
You
lunch.
prepare their food. Wow,
Yes.
really? Yeah. Yes.
And I spoil them too much. Like they want for breakfast, they want something with rice. Can you imagine that?
Oh
Every
wow.
freaking day. Every
Oh
freaking
wow.
day.
Oh no. I should go to your home.
Yeah. No, because when they were younger, I remember when they go to school, most kids don't eat their lunch. Like if you pack their lunch when they get home, it's still like nicely packed lunch, but it's stinky because it's been there the whole day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I did practice letting them have food, like at least some typical Filipino breakfast of meat and rice. At least I know they're not going to pass out in school if ever they don't want to eat their lunch. That's one
Ah,
thing I did. And
right.
then, but they got so spoiled that now even Saturday or Sunday or even they're home, they're gonna tell you, Mom, what's for breakfast? And I said, you can have cereal, like a typical Americans that you should do. And they're like, "Mom, cereal is snack. It's not breakfast." Or like I would do them, "You want a bagel?" They're like, "Bagel is a snack. It's not breakfast." Because for them, it's rice and meat. Spoiled kids, right?
Yeah, yeah, they're Filipinos.
They're Filipinos, forget it. They want the
Yeah.
meat in their rice. Sometimes they even would request for fried rice early in the morning. I'm like, really?
Wow.
Spoiled. And that's every day in my house.
Every day.
Every
Oh, now
day.
they changed. Now they changed the recommendation. You can basically have eggs majority of the week. Before it's only 3 days, right?
Yeah. But it depends because it depends on your cholesterol.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna
Yeah.
find out. I'm
It
gonna find
depends
out
on your
because
cholesterol.
we eat eggs every day now.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
anyways, I do recommend a documentary at the International Film Festival in hand for you. It's called The
which one?
Menu for Tomorrow.
Oh, sounds good.
Appropriate for you. It's Japanese from director Kiyuchi from Japan. It's actually a new chef who's dealing with the old chef over there in a wedding banquet. And I found out during our Q&A a few days ago, he mentioned that that was part of a film contest, and the film festival is actually the banquet hall. Can you imagine?
Oh,
The
that's
banquet, the
cool.
wedding banquet hall actually has a film festival, Manhattan, a film festival that encourages filmmakers to shoot in their banquet hall. So it's just a marketing ploy for them. But his topic also, did you know that some parts of Japan is still radioactive because of the earthquake? There were
Yes.
cities,
Yes.
yes,
Mhm.
and one of the problem is your food source.
Oh, yes.
They say that it's not properly diagnosed or checked if it's radioactive. So
Mhm.
that was one of the issues that he actually showed in his film, The Menu for Tomorrow, which is similar to your
Oh,
household.
I
What's the
like
menu for tomorrow?
mm, look at the fridge. Depends on my mood. If she woke up in a bad mood, she will give you cereal.
Do you actually do pack like what they do on YouTube? You pack it for a day, several days. When you cook one time and you pack it for several
Oh
days.
no. Before I used to do that when they were
Hmm.
younger, because I
Hmm.
used to have a catering business. So I know how to do like I do all my cooking on a Monday. Not Sunday because we got a lot of things to do. So Monday is my cooking day and then it's for the week. But then when they got older, I stopped doing that. You know why?
Why?
Because
Yes.
I got three teenagers now and one preteen. They could use the microwave so they could reheat everything. And my problem is if they're like, what do you call that, viand or four or five ulams in the fridge, they would like have a party for one day.
They would eat
And then
everything.
they'll eat everything, like, and they're like, what, bottomless pit? So they would eat everything. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, this is meant for for 4 or 5 days. Why is it only day
Uh,
two and we're almost empty? No, because forget it. When they were in school, they have rice for breakfast and then they have rice for lunch. And then when they get home around 3 or 4 o'clock, if there's something already cooked for dinner, they would eat that rice and meat. And then around 7 o'clock, they're gonna ask me what's for dinner. So I think it was for the past 2 years, what I did was I do cook dinner at exactly 6 o'clock and I'm done at 7. And my husband's like, why are you doing that? Because when they get home at exactly 4 o'clock, like after school activities and everything, they would eat it. And then at 7:30, they're like, what's for dinner? And I'm like, nope. Here's the fruit. That's what you call a snack, right? That's
Right,
what
right,
you eat at 3 o'clock or at 4 o'clock. You
right,
don't
right.
eat rice and ulam.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
That's why I don't do that anymore. Maybe like I would do a big batch of meat and then I would even hide the food in my house.
Where? You have a
Mm.
vault for the food.
You know what Jokoy said? Those containers that look like ice cream, but it's not ice cream inside?
Yeah. Oh, I have that too. Yeah.
I see
for
you
my,
have that too.
for my picadillo. Yeah, because the picadillo grows. It's like you cook it and then suddenly there's so much of it, so you have
Yeah,
to put it in a big container.
so I have those, and then usually like with the meat, I would put it in the freezer, Ziploc, so
Mm.
they think it's not cooked, but it's actually already cooked, like spaghetti or like cooked chili. But I'm gonna hide it, and it's frozen there, so they don't know. Because otherwise they'll be partying, and my food budget is way over the roof.
Yeah, how do you deal with the budget now that everyone's home? So it quadrupled. Like, what
Yeah,
do you do?
actually, but you know what? I'm surprised. Now they only eat like two major meals a day because they're snackers. They keep on
Mm.
snacking, which unlike before, because I think they're not also moving that much, so they're not that hungry. Because I remember before, like with my kids, like three of them would have their drama rehearsals. So after school, I would send, when they go to school, I would send them extra food for during the rehearsals if they get hungry, and then they'll arrive at home around 5 o'clock or 6. So they're hungry, hungry, hungry. But now it's like they would say, "Do you want to eat?" They're like, "Oh, I just had some chips and salsa.
Oh,
I'm fine."
interesting.
Yeah,
They're in
but they
that
are.
phase.
No, actually they're eating, but it's like you just have to have constant supply of snacks.
But what are healthy
So,
snacks? What's an alternative? What do you do for healthy snacks?
oh, for healthy snack, like they would have, well, because they're allergic to a lot of things. We don't have
Right.
peanut butter, but we got sun butter, or a like a peanut butter, but it's made with chickpeas. So they're a lot healthier because it's protein. And um fruit, they're not much big fruit eaters for one weird reason. Before that's in phases, so depends on if they like
Yeah.
fruit or not. But they make smoothies now, so they could manage on their own. They can put whatever in there, in that smoothie. They have protein shakes. They have chips. They Potatoes. Actually, we have like we got like an air fryer that they use nonstop.
I saw on your blog. Yeah, the air
Yes.
fryer. Yeah.
And I like it now because they don't have to wait for me. They could just ask, "Can we use it?" And like, okay, use it. So they would do whatever they want. They're gonna make their own mashed potatoes. They can make, and then they have the chili that's supposed to be for dinner or from last night's dinner. They'll make their loaded mashed potatoes or loaded potatoes. So
Mm.
yep, they're creative. And you know what? I don't go crazy anymore. I said there's meat in there in the fridge, or there's a grilled something. Do what you have to do. Some
You can
will
air
wrap.
fry it.
Yeah, they're gonna air fry, reheat it up. So not much, but I think it was more when they were in school, because I think they keep on moving. Are they
Mm.
moving
Mm.
from one class to the next? Here they're like sitting down the whole day. So I think they
Right.
didn't
Right.
that much.
Do you still coupon? Do you still go to a particular supermarket that you'll save money?
Well, for the stores, we have our regular stores, which is Whole Foods,
Just the
Wegmans, and
regular. Oh, but you go to Whole
yeah,
Foods.
we have
Do you have Aldi or
yeah,
Trader
we do
Joe's
have
over there?
Yeah, we do have all these in Trader Joe's. So it really
Right.
depends because of their what one thing about food allergies is you're very brand specific. So, because some brands, I would say even tomato sauce sometimes can have like wheat on it and they're allergic to wheat.
They're allergic to wheat. Wow.
Yes.
Oh
But that's
no.
the good
Yeah.
thing about the Filipino. They made like the puto and the bibingka, which is rice base.
Oh, okay. So they can eat those. It
Yes,
doesn't
because
have
it's
wheat.
rice based. But I have to learn. I was like looking at my Lola's recipe book for that, and it's like, oh my god! And I remember because they can't have dairy before. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
made the ice cream that we have in the Philippines, the sorbetes, which is
Mm-hmm.
actually made with coconut milk. Did you know
Ah.
that the
No, 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 no. The
dirty
dirty ice
ice
cream.
cream is actually made with coconut milk because
Ah.
coconut milk is cheaper in the Philippines than
Mm-hmm.
the regular milk. So I was like looking, and then my friend told me because they have in the provinces they do sell the sorbetes, and they're like, don't you know it's just coconut milk? So I was making that. I just bought an ice cream maker before and then did that one, and I was surprised, like after 2 years the coconut milk ice cream start coming in the market, and it's way expensive. It's like $7 a pint. And I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
tons of those because
If you just
you
create
know,
it, yeah.
yeah, you just have the coconut milk from the Asian store, which is very cheap, and then mix it up with whatever flavors you got. But it's homemade.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. Uh-huh.
and and
Let
they're
me try that.
and they actually eat the avocado ice cream, which is weird because before the avocado toast and the avocado ice cream, we're so used to the avocado ice cream. You know that, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're like,
No, no,
you don't eat avocado ice cream?
no, no, no. I try
Yeah,
to
'cause
avoid it. I'm lactose intolerant, but although I could eat a few, fromage, cheese or whatever, or in milk, but I just try to avoid it. And during
oh
this
yeah,
time that I talk a lot, it will make you phlegmatic.
oh yes.
So
No,
I
yeah,
try to
well,
avoid
yeah, dairy,
dairy.
right?
I
No,
try
but
to avoid dairy.
that's I made the avocado ice cream for them. So it's actually avocado and coconut milk on it.
Let me think about that. If
Yeah.
maybe you can even do a concoction. I definitely want to do an ube version of that.
Yes, but that is so easy. Just use coconut milk, avocado,
Coconut milk.
just
Yeah,
like what do you
it's
call
like a
that? A shake, right?
yeah. I was thinking like it would look like well, custard or something. It
Yeah,
becomes thick when you
yeah.
go
So
like that. It becomes thick. Yeah, and then
no,
you put it in the
it's like
fridge.
actually it's when you make like a smoothie, but make it a thicker smoothie, like a thicker shake,
Mm-hmm.
so no ice on it, just avocado and the coconut milk, and then whatever sweetener you want, and then put it in the freezer, and then when it's halfway frozen, try to mix it so it gets thicker, and that's it. You got your avocado ice cream, dairy free.
And dairy free. I'll try it. I'll try it.
Mm. That's why they're laughing because now when they have the avocado ice cream that's in the market, like you can buy it in Whole Foods, it's like $7 each. They're like, we grew up on avocado ice cream. Yeah, because when they had the allergies, it was 9 years ago. So it's
Mm.
before the trend came out,
It comes
So
in phases. I wasn't sorry about that. I wasn't allergic to apples before. I could eat apples before and pears.
actually, it's a
It
new
it comes in
allergy.
phases. Yeah.
It's
That,
a new allergy right now. Have you tried like cooked apple? Like if it's in an apple pie or something?
yeah, if it's super processed from a grocery. But if it's like a homemade apple
Oh,
pie and it's somewhat not cooked, I could feel it in my throat. But
ac-
otherwise, anything processed, juice or whatever,
mhm.
I'm good.
Yeah, actually, that's one thing we were talking about before about the apples because it's only very recently that most people react to apples.
Is it the skin?
Yes, because I think it was the spray that they use or the coating. Because most fruits and veggies are now coated, especially like if it's not in season. It has a coating outside, and some of the coating are actually they would say plant
Hmm.
based, but it has some allergens. Like my son actually is allergic to soy, and most of the coating is based on soybean oil, so that could have been what you're reacting into.
Hmm.
Yeah, visually.
Rochie, you have static. I don't know what
Okay.
when you're talking there's static. So
Okay.
yeah, can you talk again? So
Yeah, is better now.
what do you yes what do you suggest with allergies? Besides just avoiding them and
Mhm.
knowing to how to read ingredients, what are the things that you should avoid? Oh, even in flying, I was gonna say they would fly. I used to fly Delta a lot, and they would
Mhm.
actually announce it. Somebody's allergic to peanuts. We are not serving peanuts on board. They would
Mhm.
announce something like that.
Yeah, actually, we're one of the first people who actually fought for that
Really?
because, like, I would say I'm fortunate enough because my kids' reactions are only upon ingestion. Because some kids react just exposure, like skin
Yeah.
exposure and everything, the air.
And even
So
in the air. Yeah.
yeah, even in the air. So like for me, if I want to eat something, like for example, one of my kids is allergic to wheat, I could eat in front of her. It's fine, like as long as, but some kids are really that sensitive. So when it comes to that, I would say, I know some people would say you're being a helicopter mom or whatever, but most people don't realize that it's actually a disability because it could actually kill you. Allergies can actually kill you. And
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people, yeah, because it's anaphylaxis. Some people don't, they thought it's an asthma attack. It's not. It's actually the throat closing. And that's my issue with my children. They don't get hives, but they would tell you, Mom, my throat is tight. And you probably experienced that. It's tight, it's hard to breathe. So
The apples, yeah.
hmm so I always say, you know what? When some people tell you they're allergic, just stay away, and always bring an
Exactly.
EpiPen or an epinephrine with you,
The
because
like that.
yeah,
Or a
because
Benadryl at least. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, because you never know. Actually, I would say it's better. Not much of the Benadryl is okay, I would say, but the epinephrine, because with the Benadryl you'll know right away that you're itchy or something. But the
Mm,
epinephrine, it's really an emergency. It's an
mm,
emergency medication because that's what my first allergist told us. They will never eat without an epinephrine beside them. Why? Because if you don't need it, it's fine. But if you need it, you only have seconds to use it. It is actually just a matter of seconds. So always bring the the epinephrine with you. And
right, right.
yeah, and I would say don't take it. And here's one thing, because this is what my allergist also told me when he found out I'm Filipino, and he asked if I'm a nurse because he's like, "Oh, I know that thing that they say little at a time won't hurt you, the immunity thing." He's like, "Do it in a controlled environment. Don't try to experiment." Because sometimes people would
Right,
say,
right.
no, because actually we have the what do you call that? It's a therapy. You could do it the therapy that's little at a time, but it has to be in a controlled environment, like in a hospital or at a clinic. Don't do it at home because other than that, especially if you're not a medical professional, don't, because you never know. Because when it comes to allergies, you don't know what is your body's reaction at a particular day. Sometimes
Right,
it's
right.
nothing. Sometimes you can even like accidentally eat it and it's okay. But there are times when you just have one bite or not even swallow it and it's almost a game over for
I'm
you.
just putting things. There you go.
There you
There's
go.
static on my.
On your end.
Oh, there's still static. I don't know if it's my
Oh.
end or your end. But anyways, um, may I
Mhm.
say in conclusion?
Yes, please. Okay, before we end, invite them again.
Yes, yes, yes. Hopefully you can hear through the static. There's always Murphy's Law in all of this, even in producing and even in the film festival. But at least you saw Roche and I talk about all of these topics. We do have a lot of topics in the International Film Festival in Manhattan. If you check out the IFFMNYC.com, which Roche generously put in front of us, we are actually on November 19th, 2020. We do encourage buying the ticket in advance. And then it's when you buy the ticket, when you click on the ticket on November 19th to 22, it'll be for 24 hours. Thank you very much. We are doing this, of course, as we entitled it Digital Hope. If you see the poster, there's a mask of Lady Liberty and says Digital Hope because we're hopeful. I know a lot of you cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you watch, independent films like this, you'll get encouraged and you will actually support the indie filmmakers from the Philippines and from around the world and the humble business person who owns a film
Mhm.
festival. Please do support. And also support Rochie's mom, because she's fashionista but frugalista in her shopping. Please support her.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
Luis
Thank you
Pedron,
so
by the way.
much. Yes. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you had fun tonight. And yes, don't forget on November 19th to 22nd is the IFFM
Yes.
NYC or International Film Festival. So if you are bored already from watching Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime, here's your chance to watch amazing films. Okay, and you don't need to subscribe.
Yes,
All you have to do is buy your ticket. So it's just like watching your a movie. It's not even the price of a movie actually. Because for 12 bucks, I think you can do it at the comforts of your home, and you don't have to go to New York to do that. And it's
exactly. You don't have to
and
go
it's
to New York, and you can watch it within 24 hours.
yes. So you're home, what, sitting down with some nice
Yes,
bottle of wine, popcorn, or whatever have you,
yes,
right?
yes, yes. Yeah.
Enjoy and binge watch. You can binge watch because we have how many
Binge
films again? How many films you
23.
got in? There you go. See,
23.
you got one for every hour. Talk about binge watching, right? Okay, guys. So don't forget
Exactly. Thank you very much.
IFSMNYC. Okay, thank you, Luis. And see you soon. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you for
Maraming salamat.
watching.